My next guest picked up a round one KO victory at LFA 100, and of course, it is Stephen Nguyen on the show. Stephen, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Very, very impressive win. A short night in the office. You really got him out of there quickly. Were you anticipating a quick fight? Did you feel like you could get a knockout here within the first minute or two?
Hey, man. This is MMA. You never know if it's going to be a first round knockout or a 3 round battle. I was ready for it all. Of course, man. I want it to be an early night. I want to get in, get out, get my job done, and get out. So I'm just happy that it happened that way.
Now, your opponent Juarez, his last two fights, two rear naked choke victories. Did you feel like you wanted to just keep this fight on the feet, or were you maybe trying to take it to the ground and test yourself there against him as well?
I'm ready wherever the fight goes, but the fight starts standing up. So, I feel like I definitely had an edge there. I know I had longer reach than he did. So I kept my range, I stayed calm, and I just found the right shot, man. I'm getting better every single day, especially with my boxing, my stand-up, things like that. I'm improving every single day. So it definitely showed that night.
Did you know when you landed that big shot that he was out? Because it really looked like you put him out cold.
I hit him first. I knew I knocked him down. I knew I knocked him down. Wasn't completely sure if he was completely out. I even thought he was maybe in possibly like turtle position almost. But I mean, I'm going to go for the finish no matter what. I have to make sure I seal the deal. But I mean, by halfway through coming down on that hammer fist, he was asleep. I could tell he was asleep. So thank God it only landed on the shoulder.
Okay, I was just going to ask. I didn't know if where it landed, but obviously you got to do your job until the referee pulls you off. So does that ever cross your mind though? Like when you see an opponent that you think is really unconscious, to kind of tailor it back and maybe not land that follow-up shot?
100%. I mean, if I would have seen him the way he was halfway through his hammer fist like that, I would have, I would have I wouldn't even have to follow. But adrenaline was going. I was making split-second decisions. This is instinct. So I mean, as soon as I hit him, he fell to the ground. I don't even know if he was out or not. I don't even care. I had to go for something. But like I said, it just landed on the shoulder. Thank God, But yeah, if I know I knock somebody clean out, then there's no need for a follow-up, But like I said, you never know with these guys. Some guys get knocked out or get hit and fall down, and they come right back up. So that was just my killer instinct, man.
Yeah, well, again, very, very vicious and impressive knockout win there for yourself. LFA 100, that's a big deal. I mean, obviously you got the UFC, that's the Alpha Dog, and Bellator, PFL. There's a lot of great promotions that are really thriving right now. But as far as regional promotions go, LFA, they're at the top of the heap, and this was a big event. Tell me what it was like just there in the arena with the pandemic. Have all the restrictions been lifted? Was it like full with fans? Just run me through that.
Definitely. So they let fans come, but I think there was only like a few hundred fans there. They blocked off like every other row, something like that. So it wasn't like deafening in there. But hey, man, all that matters to me is that my friends and my most important family were there because it was in my hometown as well. But man, LFA 100, obviously, it's a very historical moment for me to make my debut as well, and in my hometown, and my comeback fight. So it was a lot of riding on it. But to tell the complete truth, I just felt like it was just another day in the office. Like, man, we train hard at my gym. We do a lot of hard rounds, and it helps me be ready for moments like this.
Obviously, a win is all that matters. You went in there and handled your business. But are you one of those guys that feed off the energy of the fans? Like, do you miss a full arena of screaming fans?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages to both, right? So if it's a quiet stadium, then you can listen to your coaches. That's what I like as well. Like I like to be able to listen to my coach. But at the same time, like of course, man, like as soon as you hit somebody or something crazy happens, like when the fans start going crazy, you start feeling that energy and you want to go harder. It's motivation.
No doubt. Now, you talk about being able to hear your corner in a situation like this. You had UFC featherweight Steven Peterson in your corner for that fight. Tell me what it was like just, having him there, and obviously with the training that you get from him, iron sharpens iron. Just how have things been with the guys that you're getting working on a regular basis?
It's been amazing. Since I moved here about last March, I've been getting in work nonstop every single day. I mean, this is a lifestyle for us here. Everybody at the gym. So being surrounded by people that are just as hungry as me or even hungrier, I mean, come on, you know, and especially we have over 19 UFC fighters at our camp. So every single day I go in there, first off, I'm not getting any easy rounds. And then second of all, I'm just learning from the best. I'm learning from the best. And we're truly a family there, man. We all take care of each other. We're a one big family there. So definitely my skills have gotten a lot better, as you can see.
Who have been some of your main partners that you typically go with?
I mean, anybody that's a lightweight, featherweight, Stephen Ocho Peterson. I mean, I'll even go rounds with Jeff Neal sometimes, you know, to work on more on technical stuff. But, you know, EJ Johns, Miles Johns, JP Buys, you know, all these guys, man. Fernie, you know, Ocho. We got Damon Jackson. I mean, the list goes on and on. So.
I know Peterson had to pull out of his last fight. He had an injury. How is he feeling now? Is he back to close to 100%, ready to step in the octagon again soon?
He's getting better, man. I don't want to speak on his behalf, but as far as I know, he'll be back very soon. He's his knees healing up very nicely right now, so he'll be back in no time, ready to be in action. So.
Now, you were originally scheduled to have a different opponent, Rater Dudes. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. I looked him up on Tapology, and I've never seen him before. He had a very unique name. How different was the matchup that you got versus who you were originally scheduled to face, and did that really matter at all?
You know, I was actually supposed to fight. I think his name was Red Here Dudes or Here Dudes, whatever. But apparently he had travel restrictions before taking the fight, which, you know, I don't really buy into. You know, he should have known about the fight if he could fly to the States or whatever beforehand and then back me out a week after. So, but at that point, you know, I had no choice. I just had to take this fight. But they're completely different, man. My original opponent, I think, is around my height, and he's a southpaw. Looks like he's more of a stand-up guy. And then now it's switched up to more of a shorter guy, 5'6" wrestler type of build. So yeah, I mean, everything changed, but this is MMA, and you just have to think on spot. And I was forced to do that. You know, I'm normally a very smart fighter. I like to think everything through. You know what I mean? But when situations like this come, you have to embrace them. And I stepped up to the challenge.
It sounds like maybe you are a little upset that he couldn't make it in. Is that a fight that you'd like to get back maybe in your next fight if you don't get the UFC call?
I mean, you know, it really doesn't matter. I mean, if he wants this work, I'm here for it, and he knows that. I mean, we both signed the contract. If he wants this work, I'm 100% here. But I'm not one of those guys that's going to call people out, whatever. Like, it was already over. My main thing was to be able to fight February 19th, right? And that's what happened. So if he wants it, I'm here. But I have my head on other things. I'm not focused on individual opponents. I'm just focused on getting better, leveling up, and getting into the UFC, man. That's it.
Yeah. The last time that we saw you fight prior to LFA 100 here was back in 2019 against Alon Cruz. And, you know, obviously you had this beautiful Dana White Contender Series sweatshirt on, and that was at Dana White's Contender Series. So, you know, what has life been like for you since then, man? Has the pandemic really affected, I guess, your ability to train as much as you normally would?
Yeah, man. I mean, I would be lying if I say the pandemic didn't affect everybody. You know, like everybody was going through some type of thing. And funniest thing is, in the middle of the whole pandemic, that was when I was moving to Dallas. So it was definitely a hard time for me and my girl. But you know, we just stayed on course, man. We just kept believing, kept trying. I went to the gym whenever I could. Our gym was closed down for a couple months, but you know, I did everything I could, man, to stay in shape. I had that goal in mind, man, and I just never let it go. And you know, I had a bunch of little mini injuries happen. Had to pull out of some fights because of that, and then finally this last Friday, man, everything kind of just went full circle.
And you know, that loss to Cruz at Contender Series, that's the lone loss of your professional career. Did you feel added pressure going into this fight at LFA 100? I mean, did you feel like you really had to come out and show out that you're even better than you were before?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I'm not just doing this for everybody to watch. I'm doing this for myself. Like I have to be able to believe in myself if I want to be in the UFC, if I want to get the belt one day, if I want to, you know, so I had to prove it to myself as well, man. There's a lot of pressure, but like I said, and I've talked to people about this before, when I get in there, man, I don't feel anything like the pressure that was there before, or who's watching me, or even my game plan, everything just feels blank. So when I'm actually fighting, there's zero pressure.
So what are the lessons that you took from that setback to cruise, and how much better are you now versus 2019 Contender Series?
I'm definitely better in a lot of different areas. Just little details here and there. I wouldn't say one particular area. I just tightened up my game a lot in a bunch of different areas. But I learned, man. Every single time you lose, you can either take it as a loss or a learning experience. And I learned a lot from that fight, mentally, physically as well, yes, but mostly right here. So I learned a lot there, and that's going to propel me to continue to be able to get through any of these other fights.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of fighters that were in your position that get right on that doorstep to signing with the UFC, and maybe they suffer a loss at Contender Series, and then they have to claw their way back up. I think it affects people differently. Did you go into a state of depression at all? Like, did it bother you to the point where you were like affected, like mentally, or were you able to just kind of like push right through, get right back on the horse, and just keep grinding, which is the ultimate goal back in the UFC?
Man, right after the fight, that night wasn't a good night, right? Like that exact night wasn't a good night. Maybe the day after was all right too. But as soon as I got back home, and I have such a great support system too, man. So as soon as I got back home, you can either pity yourself or you can know what your potential is and get right back to work. And I got right back to work, man. I started getting ready to move to Dallas right away. As soon as I got back, I was planning my trip to Dallas, getting ready to move to Dallas, planning for the future, knowing that I can come back from this, especially, and the fight was a close fight. It was a 3-round war. And even some say I was this close to winning a fight if it wasn't for the flying knee. So I know what I'm capable of, man. And I know people believe in me, and I believe in myself. So like you said, you can either pity yourself or you can just step up and just keep working. And I chose to step up and keep working.
What are things like in Texas right now? I'm not sure, I guess, how close you are to, I guess, all the craziness that's going on, but what is it like in that state right now?
Well, last week was bad. On the week of my fight, it was like our first time seeing snow in a long time, I think, something years. But Dallas doesn't really know how to handle snow here. So it was bad. People were running out of power and water and stuff like that. Good thing I was in Kansas at the time, cutting weight, things like that. So I didn't experience it too much. But as of right now, the weather is nice again. It's about up to 70 now, and things are looking normal here now.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear. And you mentioned being in Kansas, making that weight cut. What's the biggest you get? What's that weight cut like for you to get back down to 145?
So I start my training camp around like 175, and then obviously I get down to 146, the weight limit, and then on the day of my fight, I'm around 165, 166. So solid like 21 pounds back.
Can you ever imagine yourself going up a weight class or down a weight class, or do you feel like featherweight's your home?
I think featherweight right now is my home because I don't have a bad time making this weight. So now that I'm in the off season, I'm actually gonna focus on even trying to get bigger, man. Trying to gain more muscle, work on things I want to work on, but try to get bigger and then make that cut again. And now if it was a harder cut, then we'll see, man.
How old are you now?
27.
Okay, so you're still a young guy. You got plenty of time. And I also understand that you recently just graduated from college, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, a couple years ago, yeah.
And what did you get your degree in?
Marketing and management.
So when this fight career is over and you move on to something new, like what are you hoping that is?
I'm hoping to open up my own gym, man. I want to continue to do what I love, and that's the main thing. So I'll open up my own gym, and yeah, that's just the goal right now. But no details.
Got you. You see fighters nowadays, athletes in general fighting well into their 40s at a high level. How long do you see yourself doing this?
Hey, all I know is I'll go until I know my body, So if I'm in my late 30s and I just feel amazing, then you never know. But I'm not going to be one of those guys that are like, I know I'm not 100%, but I'm just going to fight because this sport takes a toll on you, You got to be able to go in here 100%, especially with the level of talent these days and how everything's evolving, man. You can't go in there not 100% and bring your pride in there. So I'm a smart fighter. So I'll fight until my body dies down on me a little bit, but I'm definitely going to take care of it.
All right. Well, I have no doubt you'll be around for a while. Obviously, no damage in this last fight. Quick win. When are you hoping to get back in there, man?
I'm just waiting. I'm in talks right now with my manager and my coach, so we're steering some things up right now. no details right now since the fight just happened, but I will say one thing, man. I'm going to be ready for any opportunity, especially that UFC call. But I know I'm right there. I'm just going to train and get better, man. And when that opportunity comes, it'll come. And I know it'll come. So when that opportunity comes, then they're just going to be ready.
What do you envision though? Like obviously you're gonna take whatever makes the most sense for you here next, but do you feel like you're gonna have to get another win or even two to get back to the UFC or Contender Series? Like what do you envision for yourself in 2021?
I'm not sure, man. I mean, I'm hearing I might just get called up. I'm hearing I might have to do Contender Series. I might, you know. So it really doesn't matter, man. If I had to take another fight, man, I'm not even injured. Let's go. If I get called in, let's go. Even better. Like I said, man, I'm just gonna stick to what I said before. I'm just gonna be ready for any opportunity that comes, and I know the opportunities will come because I'm with the best management group and I have the best coaches and stuff around me.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Iridium is amazing, and so is Fortis MMA. Well, listen, Stephen, congrats on the win, my man. Very impressive knockout victory. Before I let you go, tell everyone where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors, the floor is yours.
Hey, man, follow me on Instagram, Stephen Nguyen 145, and also on Twitter as well. Same, Stephen _Nguyen. So, yeah, guys, come check me out. Check me out on my next fight. Don't blink, man. I'm coming for it.